Hi and welcome to Whiteboard Weekly number 46. I'm Steph and this one is titled Everyone's a Copywriter Until They're Being Read. This is because there's a difference between good copy and engaging copy. And the kind of copy that is engaging is crafted. It takes time to produce it. It's owned over time. It's not always something that can be quickly knocked together. There is a vast difference between engaging copy and good copy or that'll do copy. But too often people will settle for that'll do, that's okay, we'll just push it out. So why is it important to make sure that we have good or engaging copy? It's because you want people to read what you're doing, and if it's not engaging, if it's too repetitive, if it's tedious to read, if it's like walking through treacle, people are not going to read it, they're not going to engage with it. And we're going to look at, over like a few videos that I'm going to be doing, we're going to look at why it's important. But it's good copy, engaging copy is something that inspires, it informs, it educates, it demands a response, it demands something from your reader. It's not something that can be like glanced over and ignored, it actually demands a response. The worst thing about it, and this pains me as a copywriter, and I've said this so many times, people won't read every word that you write, but every word that you write is really important. It needs to earn its place in your copy. So how do you write like a pro? So first of all, you need to know what it is that you're writing. Secondly, you need to know who your audience is. Thirdly, you need to spend your time where it matters the most. And finally, less is more. So let's look at in detail at what these kind of things are. So what is it that you're writing? And there are different types of writing, and I'll look at this in another video another time. There are different kinds of writing, and each kind of content has to be treated differently. You can't treat everything the same. So PR, blog, editorial, newsletter, award writing, case study, so many different types, and they all need to be treated differently and written differently. And like I said, I'll look at that in a bit more detail. A blog essentially is short and sweet. It represents your brand, it's your voice. PR is shorter and very newsy, more factual. Your newsletter is your communication to those who are watching you, your brand. It's internal comms, you've got external comms, and it's important to know the difference. So we will look at that at another point. Award writing, we've looked at this before. It's very formal, and there are set structures in how you write your awards. Case study has to reflect the person that you're doing your study about. So number two, know who your audience is. So you've got different types of audiences, and I'm not going to go into the actual avatar that you create, but in terms of your audience, you've got your followers, you've got those who are just browsing. If you think about when you go into a shop, there are some shops that you go into because you love the stuff that's in there, you know what you want, you go in, you've got an idea, you grab what you want. There are others where you go and you're just browsing, you're just looking around, is it my kind of thing? And then you've got the stalkers, those that are just looking at what you're doing online, they're stalking you, they're watching what you're doing to see if they can align with you as a brand. Number three, spend time where it matters the most. And most people don't actually realise this, but when people read copy, especially when it's online, they tend to, and we know this because we have the means to kind of follow eye tracking on a web page, so we can see where people are reading. And what tends to happen is that people read in an F shape. So they'll read the headline, they'll scroll down, they'll read the subheading, they'll read bullet points, they'll scroll down, they'll repeat that motion. So they never really read all the details, they're kind of like reading an F shape. So what that means is the most important copy that you can put on your page is your headline. The time where you need to spend most of your energy and effort when writing is in your headline. And I'll look at this in detail later on, but that's where you need to spend most of your time. That's where a lot of people don't spend a lot of their time. And finally, less is more. Now, unless you're playing Wordle, the words that you know don't really matter. It's about making sure that your message comes across without sounding repetitive, without sounding boring, without sounding like you're just speaking marketing spiel. It needs to be copy that's engaging. Less is more. Make every word count in your copy. Why say something like, to write exceptionally inspiring copy which those people whom you are most wanting to engage enjoy reading, from which they can learn about you, your brand, and what the franchise opportunity you're offering them is, cannot and must not be underestimated. Perfectly good sentence, perfectly good line, too many words. You could just say, use the right words to make your franchise attractive to the right people. It's important. Same thing, less words, more punchy, more impactful. Most people that you're writing to are not going to be the kind of academic type that want lots of words, long words, superfluous words. They're not going to be reading the Financial Times on a regular basis, so you don't need to do that. The kind of people that you're mostly going to be speaking to are people like you. So don't be afraid to write how you talk, because that's what people engage with, and that's what you want. You want people to engage with what you are writing in order for them to pick up the phone and talk to you as a franchise brand. If you've got any comments or questions, just drop us a message, and I'll see you in the next video.